Hello again, everyone. Welcome back to Adventures in Arcane Space. Once again, I am your Dungeon Master, AuldDragon, and the players are...
Hi, I'm David Bingbeck Shepherd. I play Braxon Miacc, who's a human fighter and captain of the ship.
Hi, I'm Daikami-sama, and I play Solas of Ebha, who is Half-Elven Cleric Mage of Ogma.
Hello everyone, I'm Salem Motor. I play Finnel'ar Mohani, a druid from Grayspace.
Hi, I'm Levalithana, an elven wild mage.
Hey there, I'm an elf from Realm Space. He goes by the name of Analyst Lafdul, pundit of moderate success, Moonglade. Yeah, he's a Mischiefmaker thief, so he's a fun one. What I got?
Okay.
Oh, shut up. I didn't have much time, so...
I was actually kind of expecting a little bit more. All right. So we left off last time. You guys had gathered some of the treasure. You got the prisoners. It's going to be wrapping up the day soon, and you're going to need to start planning out what you want to do the following day. As you have been told, the dragon is likely not going to be too pleased with you hanging around. So you're not going to have a whole lot of time to spend in the morning, like memorizing spells and stuff like that. But before you wrap up this day, there are some things that you need to think about doing. You've got 2 extra ships here. You can either leave them or take them. And if you take them, you need to decide how you're taking them and who is taking them and that sort of thing. And of course, you also have the cargo barge with the giant insect things.
Yeah. Braxon says, I suppose my concern about the other ships, if we take them, is if any of these people escape, they might be able to teleport back to the ship if they're familiar with the ship.
Postcards?
Yeah, we're postcards.
I mean, as good as a spellcaster is, they need time to memorize their spells. Wizards generally can't do that without their spellbooks.
Okay.
Priests need their holy symbols.
That's a good point. And the one that was on the helm, we know they've lost their spells until they do stuff.
And they still have their spells that they haven't spent.
Yeah, they're more of a blocked from spellcasting.
They used half their spells anyway.
Right.
How much we know.
Also, if you take away all the spell components, it's possible to cast spells like teleportation and such usually.
I think it would also be good if we take one item belonging to all of them and lock it in our storeroom, just in case any of them escape. Because then we can track them. Yeah, but just in case we lock up the items.
We take a personal item. Well, yeah, I suppose. Yeah. Speaking of, there's that orc we need to track down.
Yeah.
I mean, he's still in this sphere. He can't teleport out the sphere. He didn't use a gate or anything. Well, would I even know what a gate? I've seen a gate once.
You've probably never seen one, but you're aware of what they are.
I think I know the distinction if I saw a gate, I suppose. No, I assume he's still within this sphere.
Who saw the orc leave?
I did. He used his ring, which I assume had some kind of teleport magic, because he popped out of, existence, as it were. I've never actually seen it teleport work in practice. Level, you have to show me, so if I realise...
Are you sure they teleported and didn't go...
Well, no, I need to observe the spell and how it works to see if it's the same effect. I saw him literally pop out.
There was an audible sound when he vanished.
We can try it because Leva still has one teleport free.
I'll save that just in case. So.
Is there any possibility that they just became invisible or hid
No.
temporarily in another plane? Could they
Plane
be coming?
shifting's not really my expertise, but yeah, you just
Right.
assume they would fade rather than just pop.
Did Leva hear that? I mean, she was on the same floor, not that far away.
You were
Probably
around the
not. It
corner.
wasn't exactly loud.
Okay. Well, Leva is quite prepared to teleport away just to show you.
Oh. We can do that when we're traveling or something, you know, like a short, teleporting from one room to the other on the ship or something.
Yeah.
Okay, well let's make sure the other two groups are aware of this person that disappeared, because they might come back, try and attempt to rescue.
I think that person was the true leader of the group.
Did you find anything in his room that might be?
I asked specifically that the room not be searched because I want to use my magic to see if I can get any residue thoughts. I mean,
Oh, that's
it's
it.
probably unlikely at this point, but there's always a chance I might get something like a name of a planet or something, because he was
That's it.
thinking about, well, he must have thought of somewhere when he used his ring.
So can you do this tomorrow? How long would it take?
Well, once I get my spells, which would be an hour for those spells alone.
I'll give you 2 hours.
Alright, and then, yeah. They only take a minute.
Right.
Well, a round to cast each one. Once I've done that, you can, well, search the room upside down.
Yeah, I'm more concerned with us getting out here. I wonder if there's anyone in our group or the other groups that can check the siege weapons, see if they're magical.
When we were searching for the Bloodstones, I see we would have quickly gone over the
Some of the
siege weapons.
some of the NPCs will cast detect magic the next day,
Right.
and reveal
Okay.
things that are magic.
Okay. All right. Well, Braxton's thinking we can also break down those siege weapons if they're movable. Are they movable?
Yeah,
They'd be put on a
you
ship.
can dismount them all. Yeah.
They're worth
Apart
a
from
few
the
hundred
broken ones.
each.
Yeah.
It's still money.
Yeah.
Yeah, we definitely want to take all the siege weapons that are still functional.
I think only 2 in the cave are intact.
Yeah,
the
we
rest of
kind
them
of
got damaged.
blew some up.
Did you get those written down already?
I
Don't
do not
think so.
think, no.
Don't think so. No.
All right, give me a second. Let me look to see exactly what they were.
Speaking
All right, so
of,
there's 2 medium ballista that you can get from the cave itself.
2 medium ballista.
Is there enough intact pieces on those broken ones that you could
No,
fix
not
a third one?
you smashed it with magic.
Yeah, they're pretty well to. One got burnt to a crisp. One got smashed, pummeled with hailstones. I think the third one was in the area of effect of the flaming sphere or something. Or it was also ice stormed. I can't remember.
No, it was
they're
in
just
the
gone.
flame.
They're gone.
How many spare helms did we find, so to speak? Obviously, the octopus has its, and the eel ship has its.
The ones that aren't on ships, 4. They're all minor helms, and just as a heads up, they can all be identified to what ships they came from, pretty easily.
Yeah, it's here and all that. It's whether or not we had the spare helms to move the cargo barge, and
yeah,
I guess it's just a cargo barge.
If you wanted to put one on there, again, the Octave Arcane and the Star Knights will offer to. They'll offer to return the helms to their rightful owners. Again, they're offering to handle all of the cargo stuff because they know the people in the sphere better than you do.
Yeah.
And they'll some of them they're going to recognize the symbols on the cargo for who owned it, that sort of thing. They can get it back a lot easier. They know the connections, and that's just so that you guys don't have to like role play that out and figure that out. But they can handle the helms as well if you want. But then that would preclude putting one of those on cargo barge. If
We
you
could.
if you want them to take one of the other two ships, then you could do a swap. Well, you could do a swap with the helm on the eel, because that helm is pretty clearly from the elves.
Right.
And if you're putting the insect things on the cargo barge, you could do that. But it's up to you. You could also just tow the cargo barge and cut it loose if you get into a combat situation and come back and tie it back up after the combat.
So that helm looks elvish in style.
Yeah, it's an interesting thing that the Arcane, when they sell new helms, they always seem to have a helm that's perfectly designed for the people that they're selling it to.
Yeah.
Aesthetically.
Right. Okay. Well, I was hoping we'd get a helm that made our ship disappear, but I guess if that belongs to the Elven Navy. Yes, okay, so those things will go back to everyone and we'll see if they want to offer.
At least
So-
there should be quite a decent finder's fee for a thing
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah,
Hopefully.
hopefully, yeah.
I mean, you can always keep it and
Weren't
not tell them you found
we-
it. It's something you can do. I'm just saying.
Yeah, weren't we going
Lafdul
to take?
has no problems with that.
Oh,
Weren't
wow.
we going to
Wow,
take all the
actually,
stuff?
no, I do. Sorry, Braxon.
Weren't we going to take all the stuff back to the elves with the prisoners? Because then we can hand them over,
Yeah.
and then we get rid of the prisoners and we get the elves their stuff back, and it's, and we've got the elf that needs to go back, the elf prisoner we've rescued. So
Did
that's
we-
that's
You have
the
not talked to
package.
him. You have not talked to any of the prisoners yet. That's something that you might want to think about doing.
No,
before you
no,
go to sleep.
the prisoner they captured.
I understand. You haven't, but you haven't talked to anyone yet. So that's something that you might want to consider before you go to sleep.
Oh, I thought he was unconscious still.
Well, yeah, but he'll wake up before you guys go to sleep.
Okay.
Yeah, that elven prisoner they had might very well tell us that he is from Green and has nothing to do with the Elven Navy. You never know.
Maybe. I think he knows about these weapons that they've got. I think.
Could be, but we are not certain until we talk to him.
Yeah.
Most elves can't get hold of elven mail unless they're in the navy. I'm
Right.
putting that out there.
Okay. Well, we can have a chat with him.
But you really do need to decide like how stuff is being not distributed, but I mean who is doing what. Like, are you going to leave these two other ships here? Just take the helms, heavy weapons, that sort of thing. Are you going to take them back to scrap them? Are you going to put cargo on certain ships? Are they going to be piloted or towed? That sort of thing. You need to think about that.
Well, the octopus can't be towed because it's heavy.
Octopus could be,
I can-
octopus could be towed by the Star Knights. They have a major
How
helm.
much? Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's surprising on that little dragonfly.
Well, it's
How much does a major helm go for, just out of curiosity?
A lot.
Like 2,500,000, isn't it? Or something like that.
250,000, yeah.
Yeah.
we'll get our share, unless you want one. In which case, we take it in lieu of some of the treasure. I think the thing we were pushing for was to go up and rendezvous in wild space and do some identification there, and then split up. But we're going to have this decision anyway.
Right, but that's why I mean, like, deciding whether these other vessels are being piloted or whether they're being towed.
How much magical?
Because if they're being piloted, then that means that you need to crew them.
Yeah, the piloted, we have to give out some of our crew.
If the If the two other groups are going to be handling the selling and returning the normal cargo, we could give basically selling those two ships to as a task to them also.
Okay. If we dock the shuttle back into the Battle Dolphin, we can get our crew down to 12 minimum, which we obviously don't want to go that small, but we will be able to spare crew to man the other two ships if we want them
Wow.
manned.
I think the octopus could be towed.
Mm-hmm.
The eel ship can be manned by whatever was on our shuttle. Which means there would also have to be a second helmsman on there. So one of the PCs would have to go over there.
We might have to tow it to wild space then, because helmsman taking shifts and stuff, or one of you.
That's what I was going to
want
ask. How much? It just affects your maneuverability if you don't have all your spells, doesn't it?
Your
You
SR.
can still spell jam, so to speak, at full speed.
Your tactical rating is dramatically reduced.
Yeah, it's just the tactical rating.
Yeah. So, well, that means if you get attacked by the dragon on the way into wild space,
One would hope that the other ships around me, at the very least, will.
Okay,
So I can man helm out on one. I don't mind doing that. I mean, but I want to at the very least get my thought captures off. Obviously, I'll lose access to my other spells, but
okay,
I
that sounds
don't
good.
have too many spells anyway. And plus, it's
And
an elven helm. I want to sit on it. I want to know what it's like to be an invisible helm. Just once. It's like a bucket list. You know.
Sounds good.
I don't know about the other casters, but I want to try out various helms that do other things.
All right, so it sounds like we're getting the Octave Arcane to take all the goods and get them back to the owners. If we're splitting up the treasure of this stuff we're not wanting that we're going to sell, we're probably going to give that to them as well to sell. It looks like we're asking the Star Knights to tow the octopus, and you're saying we make up another crew from our own crew, and we get the eel ship. So is the eel ship going to go with the Octave Arcane, and then we meet our crew in Rirox, or is it going to come with us?
Well, we could basically take the eel ship with the special helm to the Elven Navy and basically return the helm and sell the ship to them.
What was planet that was off limits to us? That was the Elven place. I assume we would be taking it there. Either that or Kryn.
Well, yeah, it was one of the moons of Zivlin.
Yeah,
I mean, you went to a moon of Zivlin that had an elven port.
And
I mean-
Elven Navy headquarters.
Plus,
we can ask the officer anyway where we should go.
Yeah.
Probably
The
best.
yeah, the officer we woken up will be able to get us in somewhere. And if we meet elven ships, we just say we've got prisoners and we've rescued one of your crewmen, and they'll deal with us.
And they'll probably take the guy and then probably escort us to wherever.
If we take the eel ship with us, it gives us one other benefit too. We can split the prisoners to multiple ships
Mm-hmm.
so that they're not all in one group.
That's true. That is true.
And I would suggest that Sard or the helmsman, the male wizard, do not go on Sard ships because they're, from my understanding, have at least been on that ship.
Male wizard's dead.
Oh.
You have
the
Njord.
sorceress.
Yeah, you have Njord, the
played-
sorceress,
Oh.
and Sard. Those are the non-crew members that you captured.
I guess the sorcerers.
What was the dwarf's name?
Or whatever.
Sard.
Zard.
Yeah.
Okay.
Does he look like a local dwarf?
Yeah, he's a Krinish dwarf.
Right.
Not that it would mean
Okay.
anything to you, but some of the other, like the Star Knights, could tell you that he's a Daergar.
Right.
Not Duergar. Daergar.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is it their equivalent?
They're different.
We don't know.
All right, so so Lafdul's going to be piloting the eel.
Yeah, after he's done his spell casting.
Yeah, I'll still have some spells reserved full. Nah.
So, do you have to learn at least one other spell to get on the helm?
No, I've got other spells that I've not cast even now. I mean,
Right.
if we
Okay.
got 2 hours, then I'll have like several third level spells,
Yeah.
probably about 2.
And I suppose
mean,
which.
I mean, Lafdul should have quite a lot of spells since he didn't cast that many during the.
Wow! Yeah, I mean, I've got my resist acids and corrosion, so I would never cast.
And
I think you need your resist catty comment spell.
the dolphin is going to. You guys are going to tow the cargo barge with the dolphin.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
we should tow the cargo barge.
Yeah,
since
oh yeah,
it
'cause the
has
cargo-
insect creatures.
The cargo barge has got the stuff we got to take to the elf, so yeah.
Yeah.
So if the Star Knights are going to tow the octopus, they can. You can load up a lot of the pirated cargo into that as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I suppose they can go with Octave Arcane then.
Yeah, they will.
Yeah,
They're both going to go to reorgs.
right. Sounds good.
Hmm.
And then we meet up with them on Reorx. Well, I mean, they can split their 2 shares and have our share for us.
Shouldn't we go with them to Reox and then split up? Because we can do any offloading there.
I would think we should take those insect creatures as soon as possible to the Elven Navy.
Yeah, the sooner we get back to the elves, the better.
It seems based on the comments and reactions from Chandra Sakar that they are something that should be kept to minimum basically notice to outsiders.
Yeah, I concur with that.
Have I truly heard nothing of these creatures?
No,
being
you have
enough.
not.
Well,
You have not.
Talking of elves, should we see if the captive has?
I wanna iron some more logistics out first.
Okay, sorry.
So you're gonna split up the eel ship needs 4 crew members, including Lafdul, to fly it. That doesn't include any manning any of the weapons.
Well, we've got 70 crew on our ship, so we can. What's the max on the eel ship?
20.
20. So I think we can give them enough for 2 shifts and weapons and stuff.
No, it seems we're getting the second helmsman.
Oh no! Hang on. Like Lafdul said, we'll go up into wild space, and then we don't have to have 2 helmsmen. Mind you, once you've got on the helm, you're attached to that helm. I believe is that the way it goes, Ald? Or can people start spelljamming on one ship and swap to another ship?
Can't swap to another one.
Right. So I guess you're doing a whole shift.
Yeah.
So if you
Probably 12 hours.
if you're just piloting it up into wild space, then are you going to like the dolphin can't tow the eel and the cargo barge?
No, but we're going to.
If we land the dolphin shuttle on the blade, the hilt on the blade, we basically can have the crew from that and one of our NPC spellcasters to be the otter shift on the eel ship.
Yeah.
Should we keep Sansa silly, but should we just keep it simple? Just get into space first, worry about everything else after once we were in space.
I'd
Yeah,
rather
but we
figure
might
out.
as
Because this is just what's going where. It's just a logistics thing.
We can't even leave this planet until we've seen the giants, because we still got to pay them off, so to speak.
Okay.
If you
It-
right, but this is just logistics. Who's taking the ships where? What are you doing with them? Kind of thing. If you want to, like, you can just pilot the eel into space and take off the helm, and the Octave Arcane can tow it back to Reorx and sell off the ship, scrap the ship. The Octave Arcane can tow the eel.
Yeah, that's true.
In character, Braxon would be saying the same thing. We'll get this done, go to bed earlier, we'll get off into space and we'll sort this out in space. Out of character, if all wants to sort this out, we might as well sort it out now. But we've had the discussion later.
I mean, because what's the point of piloting this ship, piloting two ships to the Elven world, if, like, I mean, is your idea to keep the eel as well?
No, they were talking
Kind of
about splitting up the prisoners. But then I suppose if we split up the prisoners, we're also splitting up the guards.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but they're also one person. Well, at least the important ones. I mean, there's going to be minor tools and stuff, but they're non-magic users. They're easier to subdue.
I mean, we could split the prisoners in that we take the officers to Elven Navy and Knights and Octave Arcane take the crew prisoners to Reorx.
They could definitely do that, yeah.
Yeah, we could do that.
That way we would only have the 3 or what prisoners to worry about.
Yeah. Plus this orc
Mm-hmm.
that's
Well,
escaped.
we can track him later, I think.
Well, we can track him if we got any of his belongings.
We'll track him tomorrow at the very least to know if he's still within the sphere.
Oh, that's something for us to work out. With the keys, we're working out who owns what room. So the missing guy is from the room you want to search tomorrow, is it?
Yeah, we never found his keys. Assumably, he's got his keys on him when he left.
Yeah, but like if we've accounted for all the other rooms and that's unaccounted for, that's presumably his room.
I mean, he literally walked out of that room
Right.
and disappeared right in front of Lafdul's face, so...
Faith.
Okay.
Lafdul's faith's not going anywhere.
Oh, but your face is... Okay, got it.
I mean,
But
Yeah.
I think old said a good point that we don't actually need to worry about the eel ship except just taking it into space. If Octave Arcane can tow it and sail it, we just take the helm off it.
Yeah.
can I get clarification on this? At this point, the Black Dragon corpses just are not happening.
No.
All right. That's fine.
I mean, for one thing, a green dragon tore into it with claws and bite.
Yeah.
And, you know, you guys left
Big
it
body.
in a swamp
Mm.
and stuff, so.
We did already harvest something from it left.
Yeah, I mean, I got some couple of vials of black blood. I don't know how many scales old let me have. I think it was just
You-
a handful, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Maybe
should've-
one or two.
You should have.
I mean, like, you can have half a dozen, I don't care. It's like,
That's cool. I mean, Black Dragon skills are using the spell components probably.
okay, so you're gonna pilot the eel into wild space and then let the Octave Arcane tow it to Riork's.
Yeah, I think that's the logistically easiest thing to do if we tow the cargo barge.
Here's a crazy question: could they not tow it from where it is?
Yeah, I mean,
Or we gotta get it out?
I'd let you tow it from where it is, but Lafdul wants to try out the helm, so.
Ah, right. If you want to try out the helm, then yeah, go for it.
I mean, I could pilot the helm now, couldn't I? Technically. I've got to rest anyway to get my spells back.
You could, but you wouldn't be able to cast any of those spells the next day, because you'd still be tied to the helm.
Yeah, for 12 hours.
No, 24 hours.
Oh.
Yeah.
Alright. Didn't realize it's 24 hours.
Yeah. You cannot use magic for 24 hours after getting on the helm.
Oh well. Yeah, I guess.
Yeah. Okay, so I suppose our thing is we want to set watches for this orc just in case they're invisible. Not that Braxton's calling you a liar, but just in case.
Yeah, you're giftfully more than happy to do it. They're a little grumbly at having missed all the fun.
Yeah. And then you need to do your spells in that room in the morning. Is there any other essential spell casting down here? Obviously, detect magic to look for things.
Old?
Mm-hmm.
Is anyone injured in a way that is more than just wounds?
Like broken limbs, you mean?
Yeah, since I have one repair injury memorized.
I don't think so.
Well, then I'm going to be using it just to heal someone.
What about those big lizards that left
gone.
They're gone.
Three of them died. One of them I managed to send away before it ended up dying.
Okay.
Well, it was limited as to what I could do inside the Red Njord ship. Yeah,
Okay,
turned out
so
useful in the end.
you want to talk to prisoners before resting?
I guess.
So enthusiastic.
Yeah,
I mean, you could just not shoot. You can not talk to the prisoners if you don't want to. If you don't care what they have to say.
Braxton doesn't really care about talking to the prisoners.
I mean, that's fine. You don't have to talk to the prisoners.
We could interrogate them about other nefarious operations in here.
Yeah.
Leva would want to know who this ogre is. Ogre? What was it? No.
Orc.
That Lafdul saw. Definitely wants to know what they have to say about him.
Yeah, he seems like at least a ringleader, at least a spiritual leader of the group. I think Red Njord was following him. I don't know. Maybe I'm just chasing ghosts.
Oh, Braxton says to our spellcasters before we go near any prisoners. I suppose it might be good if we can double check that none of them have been charmed into doing nasty deeds.
Well, that's not going to be happening today.
No, I know.
It's not going to be happening a few days from me, at least.
Well, like the normal soldiers would show up with detect magic, would they?
Take charm.
Charm. But that would show up, would it?
Yeah. Charm spells. I want just charm spells to be last. That's not a spell I have access to, so I wouldn't know.
Charm person lasts until it's broken.
So it would show charm influence, I assume.
So if one of our companions is able to detect magic on them, we can assess them, and if they're not magical, then they're doing it of their own free will. As for the As for the officers, I presume they're all doing it of their own free will.
I mean, charm only. What kind of charm magic are you referring to? The domination kind, entirely controlling their every action, or the kind that just influences?
I don't know. I'm not a spellcaster. You're the expert in these things.
Also, having one of them basically charmed to do all these would be quite. How should I say? While it is possible, it would take quite a lot of effort in making sure the charm is holding.
Oh yeah. But I remember the fight we had
steady.
at the theatre where there were 3 people trying to kill us, who we were trying to rescue.
Yeah, they were charmed in quite close to the fight.
Yeah, I like I said, I don't know. I don't want to send anyone off to get judged and presumably executed if there's possibility that they've been coerced into acting against their will.
Hey, Old.
Mm-hmm.
When I had that memory read of that mage that did the charm to the first officer, was getting all the information. Did I see hit that person amongst any of these?
Nope.
So that was probably an appearance change.
Yeah, most likely would have changed their appearance.
Probably is the. Well,
It might.
I
very
don't know
well
if
have.
I'm making the connection to the Urak that was doing that, but
I mean, you saw him change his form, so.
I mean, I might have inquired about what orcs can do to the other Star Knights. They might have told me.
They're not deeply familiar with the stuff that they can do.
Are they familiar enough that they can take their form of a slain person or not?
They don't know details.
Right.
Most of them have only fought the more common ones, and on top of that, there's so many stories about what they can do. Like, they know that the more powerful ones tend to have magical abilities, but, like, you know, when you're not an expert on something, when you're not yourself a wizard, you don't know what someone can do. They have magic. You know, every spellcaster is different, so on what they can do. So unless you ask one of the prisoners and they give you an answer, you're just gonna have to go and conjecture.
I'm gonna routinely ask all the crewmen separately who the orc was. See if at least we get a name.
The crew are very reluctant to talk to you, especially with Njord nearby.
I mean, I'll just pretty much taste them. If you're not going to help us, you're pretty much dead.
No. We should take the crew away one by one and question them separately.
Yeah, well, that was what I was insinuating, but apparently not.
Well, you didn't say that you were taking them away.
Yeah,
Well,
you
routinely going through them, I assume, by pulling them away from the group.
That's not necessarily what that means. I mean, like,
Alright.
that could be just sitting, speaking to them face to face while they're sitting there all tied up next to each other.
Okay, so where did we have them corralled? Did we say?
I mean, just right here, surrounded by a whole bunch of people, so all tied up and everything.
Okay, so we're going to put them onto the battle dolphin, right? To take them away. So should we put them on there one by one now, or are we going to do that in the morning?
Didn't I say that we should just take the officers by ourselves and let the group
Okay,
prisoners
alright.
be taken to reorgs?
Yes, you did.
Since we don't want to have too many prisoners.
Right, so we'll take them off one by one, the crew, to put them with the Star Knight ship.
So take one.
Oh, we've got those sheds.
Yeah.
We've got those sheds. Okay, so we've got 2 sheds that have had goods in them. We will.
Well, they still do. You haven't gotten everything out of them.
All right. Okay, so we'll take the prisoners one by one to one shed. and then when we take them out that shed, we'll put them into the other shed and guard them in the other shed, so they don't see what happens to the people we're taking away. We'll just take them away one by one, and we can question them in one shed and process them, and then put them in the second shed. And we'll have the chance of splitting off any that we feel that we need to split off at that point.
Okay, so starting with the there's 4 human crew members. And keep in mind also that the unless you want to specifically wait the 3 hours for the symbol to go away before you do any of this, which is fine. You'll still have daytime left. You're not getting into the second building without going through the effect of the symbol.
Oh, is it passed through the walls?
No, it's covering both doors.
Oh, right, okay.
You literally can't get into the building without passing through the area of effect of the symbol.
Okay then. Right, well, the octopus has got lots of rooms, so we can interview them in one of the rooms and then put them somewhere else. They could be still on the octopus, or they could be in the shed, but we could separate them all off one by one.
I mean, you can wait until the symbol goes away. It'll just be another... I think after you've searched the octopus itself, probably another hour and a half.
Okay. Should we...
I mean, you can't get any stuff out of that building until the symbol's gone anyway, so...
Yeah. Alright.
So is that what you want to do?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll go ahead and remove that.
So Lafdul's been talking to himself on mute.
Do you have anything to add before I get rid of the...
No, it's done.
No. I mean, if you were saying some things and you were muted, and you have something to contribute...
No, it was mundane things. It was funny things. It was like, Lafdul can do some labor by himself.
So basically, Lafdul's deity took away Lafdul's voice for a while.
Yeah, it's strange how he has influence in a sphere he doesn't have influence in.
Alright, so, what... Like, you're not really going to get different information from the human crew. What do you want to ask him? What do you want to ask him?
I want to know what the orc's name was. That should be a pretty easy one.
Alright, so one of them will mention, you're pretty sure that the crew is mostly Krynnish humans, or they're Kryn space humans. So they're not terribly familiar with orcs themselves. They just picked up that he was one of those things called orcs. And his name was Targrok.
Targarok.
Targrok.
Oh.
And the only thing that they can really tell you about him is he had he was some sort of spellcaster. They're crew members. They don't really know these things. He also had some means of getting information for Njord. Not information about like cargo ships. That information came from other people, but other targets that they would occasionally go after.
Right.
Same can deal with Sarda, I assume. I'm not honestly asking that. It's just thinking out loud.
How about where they just came from?
Yeah.
They had just they were coming back from selling some goods on Kryn itself. There was a kind of a secret port near Naraka that they sold some stuff. If you'd consult with the Star Knights, they'd tell you that Naraka is kind of the heart of the. There's like a strong ogreish presence there. That's where the people who worship the evil deities tend to reside. While their forces were defeated in the War of the Lance, it wasn't a total defeat.
Yeah.
Like, they still occupy land, they still control land, but their plans for expansion and control of the continent were prevented.
Right.
I keep talking on mute. It's really annoying. Could you type out that pirate port that was near? It was near Naraka. I can't spell Naraka.
I mean,
That's what I'm asking.
It's like the Star Knights would recommend against going there. So
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not saying we go there. I just want to know if it's what.
it
how
doesn't
to
have a
spell
specific
Naraka.
name. Oh, Naraka itself is.
I'm
If I
adding
remember correctly,
to-
I'm. It's been a while since I've looked at it.
No, that's fine. Doesn't
Yeah,
matter
we'll
if it's-
tell the elves about Naraka. The elven
I'm-
name.
The elves are
I'm just-
already gonna like the Star Knights are gonna be like, oh yeah, okay, that makes sense, kind of thing. Like this
Yeah,
is
yeah.
not this is not gonna be oh my, this is amazing
Oh, no,
information that you gained here, kind of thing.
Yeah, yeah. No, I'm not expecting them to go, or we never knew that existed. I'm just letting them know that the pirates were going there.
No, what I'm telling you is that like if you go to them and say the pirates were going to Naraka, their reaction is going to be like, no duh.
Yeah, but Braxon will be like, do you have any enemies in Naraka that might have been involved with this?
And their response is going to be like, yeah, all of them.
These pirates are kind of
cliche.
Well, no, it's just like I mean, it is literally what amounts to an evil empire run by
Yeah.
evil priests and wizards, and with the humanoids and evil humans of the continent. I mean,
yeah.
there
No, I
are
just-
there are some cliches to it, in part because this is all stuff written almost 40 years ago, 35 years ago, kind of thing.
I wasn't saying it's cliche. I was just wondering if there might be any plots from Kryn against Wild Space.
Not really. That's all secondary to trying to conquer Kryn itself, kind of thing.
Okay. Anyway, well, that would be Braxton's reason for passing on that.
No, and I mean, I would
End up
expect
doing
you to.
Dragon Ball
You
game.
just don't need to make a point of that because
Okay.
it's all.
Yep.
That's essentially common knowledge.
Yeah. I suppose Braxton would ask each of the individual people what their name was. I'm going to let you off giving us names. And how long they've been involved with the group, and whether they joined the group of their own volition or whether they were forced.
Most of them joined because the pay was going to be good, and they had no compunction about killing people.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, Braxton will make sure they all get a meal.
Alright.
Before they get tied back up.
Any other questions that you specifically want to ask the human crew members?
Where did you meet? Is it the Zykreen or Zixchill? I can't remember which. Well, actually, find out which one it is.
Well,
Is it
it's
Zykreen or
Zixchill.
Zixchill. Oh, Zixchill.
Yeah.
Where did they meet?
Like you've seen Zixchill are You've seen Zixchill on Brawl. They run a couple different shops there. Like, they have a small population, but an outsized reputation for that population. In part because they do things that no one else can do. So yeah, like you would have no problem. You've probably never seen a Thrycreen, and it's entirely possible you've never heard of a Thrycreen. So to Lafdul, to all of your characters, if you see a Thrycreen, you're going to be like, that's a different looking Zixchill, as opposed to looking at a Zixchill and saying that's a different looking Thrycreen.
Yeah.
Well, this one was the priest of Levalithana. I assume that this one might be falling into the latter.
All of the crew members will say that she was already part of the crew when they joined up, and all of them joined up at various times. Like one of them joined up 3 months ago. One of them's been with them for 2 years. That kind of thing. So it's all. It varies from each
was she? What did we find out what her name was?
Bloodleaf.
Oh, Bloodleaf. Do we ask Bloodleaf? Was Bloodleaf helping Red Njord with the suits? I guess
They don't know anything about that.
Right.
That was all high level stuff for them.
Yeah. Braxon will ask if they know of anyone else other than the eel ship that was working with Red Njord ship.
No one who's part of the group. I mean, they have contacts with other pirate groups and obviously contacts in the ports and stuff like that.
Have they got any contacts in the legitimate ports?
There may, but they don't really know anything about that.
Right, okay. That's probably all Braxton needs to know.
Yeah, you're not really going to get too much operational information out of the crew members.
No, I guess so.
Like, you can get some names and stuff like that from, of the crew members.
Yeah.
But they're not going to have any information. As long as they got paid, they didn't really care. They just did what they were told, is essentially what it boiled down to. What they can tell you is that generally when things were going to be sold at one of the legitimate ports, the eel ship would go there with Sard as captain.
Yeah.
So he had contacts with legitimate or semi-legitimate businesses that he would sell stuff to.
Did any of them go with Sard?
Occasionally, but not very often. You killed all the crew members who were regularly on the eel.
Yeah. Okay. I was just wondering if we could get a list for the ports that Sard has been to.
Someone like him has probably been everywhere he can.
Yeah.
We know he's been to Reorgs, don't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's probably been to every pirate port, at least.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
He was at least appearing to be a trader. An information broker, as you would call it as well.
Yeah.
Do we learn the sorceress's name?
Yes, her name is Silithia.
Did she tell us, or do we find out from the crew?
You haven't spoken to them yet. She didn't give you her name when she surrendered, so.
Silithia.
Silithia, yeah.
That's the name I cannot spell.
There you go.
I'm going to see if my spelling was...
Yeah, let's find out.
See, that's how I would have spelled that.
Scythia?
Yeah. Well, I googled it, so it was the closest thing I could find. I didn't have the Y in it.
Missed that whole L part, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Had it almost right, except for one letter.
Lafdul just wants to go and conquer Scythia.
I've got no interest in that one.
All right. Any other questions you want to ask the crew? Again, they're not going to have really much in the way of operational information.
Do we need to ask? Oh, can they tell us how the mechanism on the octopus works?
Mechanism.
Yeah, it's well documented. It just takes training and study.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
But if the ship is going to be towed, then it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I suppose so. Okay. Well, Braxon will.
Where did you meet these draconians? When did they sign on? Or were they part of your Red Norse posse for a long time before you?
Let's see.
How long ago did the Kryn War end?
It's been a few years.
So this is like the aftermath.
Yeah. Again, they were already on. Like, a crew turnover means that none of these crew members have been with them as long as the officers have. At least most of the officers. They were brought on with the helmsman Dalaran.
The
and
dead
they-
helmsman, I assume.
Yeah, the dead helmsman. And they were brought on at some point. Like, Bloodleaf was with a Njord before he arrived here. Dalaran, Sard, and the Draconians signed on after he arrived here.
I have no more questions. I'm just making notes.
Mm-hmm. You can also ask questions of the Minotaurs, too, so...
Oh, yeah. Are they still under that spell?
No, they'd all be, that... When you let the symbol wear off, then the effects wear off of the people as well.
Okay, but while they were still under the spell, would that be like a truth serum?
No.
Okay.
I mean,
Is anyone?
it's going to affect their attitude, but it's not going to automatically make them tell the truth.
No, I just wondered if it might be something where Lever can use a symbol and then just interrogate people nicely.
Lever can't use simple anymore.
No?
Remember?
Oh, yes, sorry. All
now,
right.
she
well,
could have, like, at the time, yeah, she could have used symbol and persuasion, and that would make them friendly to you, essentially. But
Yes,
Yeah.
that was some time ago. A few hours, days.
hours. It's still the same day as the fight.
Mm.
Any questions you want to ask of the Minotaurs? They're basically going to have the same information that...
it's going to be where they signed on. Didn't someone want to know if they came from Ancelon or Taladas or Wild Space? So, yeah, we'll ask where they came from.
They hired on near Naraka as well. Well, some of them did. Some of them hired on in the actual Bloodsea Isles, so they're all from Ancelon.
Right.
Is no one going to ask what's the deal with the Minotaurs with hooves and Minotaurs with feet?
You only saw
No,
Minotaurs... Well, you saw Minotaurs with feet elsewhere, but here you've only seen Minotaurs with hooves.
Yeah, that's just rude. Braxon wouldn't answer.
Am I correct? We are asking them on the dolphin. So how did we...
No, you're asking them in the cargo
Okay, so they're not on the dolphin.
buildings. No.
Okay.
And you're going to send the regular crew back with the Octave Arcane.
No, we was going to send
Or the Star Knights, whichever one.
treasure with the Octave Arcane and the the prisoners with the Star Knights.
I mean, they're gonna be going together, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Any specific questions? Any other specific questions you want to ask of the Minotaurs?
Pretty much be the same questions as before.
Okay.
What can he tell us about Tsar? Who is he? Why is he
Oh, yes.
famous? Did he betray the... what was it? He betrayed someone, I forget now.
Yeah, Tsar was a crew member on a ship, hired to help guard the ship. Hired as muscle, like you've hired GIF. And when they were attacked by pirates, the pirates made him a better offer, and he turned.
Right.
Hmm. So he just goes to whoever pays the most.
Yeah, but in particular, he has absolutely no loyalty whatsoever.
Right.
Oh, that means we could get information
No.
out of him.
Oh, right,
He's
yeah.
dead.
Yeah.
Ah.
Well,
I
you
mean,
might
Probably
get...
this.
He has no loyalty whatsoever, but he was also very evil. So,
Yeah.
It's not like Lafdul cares.
Oh, I want the A parts of their bodies so I can ask them questions of like the Minotaur and stuff.
okay.
Tsar, Dalaran, any.
Are we
There's
done?
nothing left of the Aurochs. So...
Are we done with the Minotaur prisoners, though?
I think
we
so.
are.
All right. Do you want to ask anything of Sard, Silithia, or Njord?
Right, should we just straight up ask him how much do you want to cooperate? Or is this a you don't talk to us and we just hand you over and let your fate be it?
Well, I don't know whether Ockar would want to ask him. I don't know if he's here.
Ockar's here.
Ockar's
yeah,
here,
He's
but
seeking spiritual guidance.
Okay.
I mean, if you think that there are some things that Ockar might want to ask, then I'm fine with that. I mean, he's not here. His player's not here today,
Family.
so.
Why did he go off pirating, stuff like that, and the mundane questions? Try to get an understanding for Ockar's sake, as like, why did you do what you did?
I know Braxon will say... Braxon would let other people ask him normal questions, and then Braxon would throw in a question to see whether he reacts, and say, "Who are you working for?"
So while he's like his answer to why he went on to be a pirate is he would tell you the only thing that matters is power and wealth, and the best way to get that is to take it. Take what you want. Take what you need. And then when you throw that at him, Braxon, he would look at you and give you a smirk and say, "I have only ever worked for myself."
Right, Braxton's gonna try and guess if he's telling the truth. Looks like he is. So why did you stop pirating for a while and then start pirating again?
He does not seem inclined to answer that.
I think you made a deal with someone.
What sort of deal do you think I made?
I don't know.
I assume you're asking him separately at this point, since you've taken the human crew members.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Yeah, we'd be separating them all and asking them all separately. And we would feed them as well.
I suppose we could ask him what's his relationship with the orc. I'm not going to mention whether or not he's dead or not. I'm just going to ask him in mundane, just what's the relationship with the orc?
I think when we do that, we'll ask about all the other crew as well. So it's not obvious that we don't want to telegraph information that the orc might have escaped.
Yeah, we'll say what's your relationship with. We'll just routinely go through the list. Like, what's your relationship with the Zixture? What's your relationship with like everything? So it's not. I'm asking that particular thing. It's just one of the things I will eventually come through that I'm paying attention to.
So who would you start with of that of all the crew members that you know of?
Let's start with some that are dead.
What?
Just
Well,
give me
we
a name.
killed someone.
Just give me a name.
Rollgang.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Hargang.
All right, so like, do you think you would start with asking about his former companions from back on Brawl? Start with them and then go on to the other crew members? Okay.
Yeah.
He says they were friends. They served me well. They served their purpose. It's a shame that they have been killed by you, but that's what happens when someone is weak. When you then move on to the other people, his answer is basically going to be the same. They served me. I paid them for it. And that's it.
Right.
That seems all that he's inclined to say at this time about the other crew members, the other officers, I should say.
And he says the same about the orc.
Basically, yeah.
Right.
I mean, like, his words are going to vary slightly, but that's the sentiment.
Yeah.
So did you always hate Ockar? Were you never friends?
Of course I have. I was trying to do the right thing. What is the right thing?
So you could say he influenced you into being who you are because you hated him that much.
Of course not. It was merely a bump in the road until he brought you along with him. Had to get so many others to help him do what he wanted. That's how you know he's weak.
I mean,
strength and unity.
I mean, you had a bunch of officers and a huge amount of crew with you, and you had the home terrain advantage.
You also had those big living things. That was you having help.
Also, you had a big black dragon as your guardian in here.
What happened to him anyway?
We killed him.
Yep. Some guardian. Yeah. Does he at least look surprised by that?
He looks disgusted. Like, not disgusted at you, but disgusted at the dragon for letting you slay him.
You know, you really should not disparage your cousin Ockar so much. He's quite a more powerful person than you are.
So enough. Well, yeah. What other cryptospheres have you been pirating?
Oh, too many to count.
And have you got a logbook for the ship? Or do you not keep that sort of record?
Why would I keep such a record? It's all in my head. You don't need any documentation.
Very well.
Lafdul's not saying this, but Lafdul's like, well, if it's in your head, I can get it out your head.
Oh, we've been asking about the officers at Braxon to say, how did you get those Draconians and the Orc? They're not normal for Kryn space.
He
How did
travelled
you find
around,
them?
didn't he?
Well, I mean, I don't know that you would know anything about that. Like, you've heard
We
that
don't.
orcs aren't native, but you know that draconians are from Kryn itself. But as for what is normal in the wild space of Kryn space, I don't like. I don't know that you would have any real idea of what is normal.
Braxon might not know, but he does. He knows that Red Njord doesn't know. He knows or doesn't know. But he's just trying to come up with a way to fish for information for the Orc without making it sound he's just like fishing for information on the Orc.
I've met many over the years who have similar goals to me. And
Braxon
when they
nods.
are capable, I pay them well.
That sorceress seems to have been paid well, judging by some of the stuff she has.
Yes, well,
She was quite fond of her finery, shall we say.
she had ways of getting information that we used at times.
Bet she charged the king's ransom for it as well.
You'd have to talk to the people that she spoke with.
So, you visited the wizard that lives alone on the moon? I
I
forget which
don't
moon
even
is.
know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Oh, no one goes there. There's nothing there worth getting.
Well, he's interested in trading magical stuff. You've got magical stuff. Figured you would have traded with him at some point. He seems like a person that would know things. Maybe the sorceress knows about him.
You can speak with her.
Hmm. So, did you have any dealings with the strike or the singing sword, singing blade, singing something?
Singing sword or fops. Strike is... they're capable.
We
Dealt with them on
encountered-
occasion.
We encountered the singing sword a couple of times. You just passed each other by.
I'm not surprised. If you could defeat me, I doubt they would have stood up against you. Maybe they knew it.
Yes, this seems like the.
They're not
They would,
willing. They're not willing to go the where they need to gain their power.
Sure, but that's why they're still operating and you're not, I suppose. Maybe they were smarter about it.
They're probably scared.
I mean, they still get to operate, you don't. I'm not saying that I'm pleased about it, but I mean, their tactics obviously working and yours isn't. You might want to think about that.
If you hadn't brought in 3 ships full of crew to take on 1, then I'm sure we would have succeeded.
Well, you could have had contacts, called in favors with a strike. You could have built up a business network. I mean, you're all in it for the same thing, essentially.
Of course I could have done that if I'd known you were coming, rather than ambushing us like the cowards you are.
Oh, come on. Everyone ambushes. Saying you never ambushed any innocent trading vessel out there?
Of course I did. But I don't have a follower of Tyr on my side. And he says that with a sneer.
A follower of who?
Tyr.
Basically,
Yes.
he's trying to goad Ockar.
Yes, because
Yeah, it's a shame that his player isn't here right now. That would be
so you'd rather keep similar company with priests of Levalithana then?
She had her uses. Is she dead then? Haven't seen her out here.
Yeah, you can speculate.
Mm-hmm.
Braxon will ask one of the other officers, can they bring, because he's getting everyone to be bought food and drink. We'll make sure he's up to no good when, not up to any dodgy stuff when he eats. I guess we'll
Oh,
give him food that's cut up for him.
I mean, you've got
Give-
gift guarding them, so.
Yeah.
be right back. I need to check something.
Yep. I don't know that we have much more questions for him.
All right. I'll just move them off to the side there then. Do you want to ask anything of Sard or Silithia?
I suppose we should be asking the same questions, where they met and that sort of thing. Who they've been dealing with outside.
Who do you want to talk to?
Sard was the dwarf, wasn't he?
Yes.
Let's start with Sard then.
Okay.
Braxton knows he hasn't got any spells.
All right. So what do you want to ask him?
When he signed up with Red Njord, I suppose he'll ask the thing, did he sign up with his own volition and that sort of stuff?
Of course, I signed up with my own volition. Njord pays his people well. It gave me an opportunity to make money as well on my own. I'm a merchant after all. He would basically indicate that he signed up with Njord a few years ago on reorcs.
Braxton will ask what port he met up with him at.
He doesn't specifically say.
Okay. Yeah, I guess
Odd.
there's some stuff he doesn't want to say.
I have to leave the game because my mum's been involved with an ambulance, so
Okay.
yeah, so I've got to go.
Good luck with that. I hope she's okay.
Sorry, obviously I've marked out my interest in my character sheet, what I'm interested in.
Hope your mother is fine in the end.
Alright,
Yeah.
thank you. Sorry about this.
No. Go do what you got
It's
to do.
quite understandable.
Yeah, take care, bud.
I'm leaving myself in the disco bar. I'm obviously not going to be here. I'm going to be out of the house, so I'll just leave myself mute.
Okay.
Yep. So I don't know. We'll be asking what other groups he was involved with.
He's not going to give you too many details. You
Okay.
definitely tell that he doesn't want to incriminate other people who,
Yeah.
number one, he feels that there's always a chance that he might be getting back to his old habits. You'd guess.
Yeah, if he thinks he'll get away with it. Okay. I think a lot of this will be Braxton asking some questions he doesn't really care about, just so that if they do get together and say what were you asked and what were you asked, that they can't tell we were interested in specific things.
Yeah, I mean, you can just say that you're couching them with other questions. If you want to focus on the things that you're actually interested in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes you just need to let me know that you're specifically asking, framing it in a wider thing, and then focus in on the stuff that you're actually interested in, so that we can get to the information that you actually care about as a player. So,
Yeah.
what are you specifically what would you ask that you actually care about?
Um, I guess. I guess one thing Braxon wants to know is how are they getting information about ships to attack? Who is giving them that information?
So again, he's very reluctant. Like he's very cagey on how he puts it, but something that you can glean is that the draconian. Let me see what his name was. Give me a second. Velotharax was very skilled at changing his appearance and getting people to elicit information. Sard doesn't really know how he did all those things, but he was very good at that. That's kind of what
Right.
you'd pick up from probably
Right.
multiple questions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good. So it looks like we've shut that down.
And I think
Okay.
that Lafdul would probably, obviously, Zakat stepped away, but Lafdul would probably put two and two together that it was Velotharax that he saw in that one person's memory.
Yeah, I was thinking that. So I think you will put two and two together. I think that.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyone else got any questions?
Yeah, other people can pipe up. It doesn't have to just be Braxon and Zakat. Lafdul.
Yeah, I'm thinking if there's anything I want to ask, but so far no.
Surely you would ask if any of the books were his.
I mean, the books are no longer them. Theirs.
Yes, there is that.
And he can always read the books himself.
Yeah.
He doesn't need a synopsis from them. That would take away the joy of discovery what lies within the book.
Yeah.
How did he make the ship disappear?
Oh yes. Very good question.
When you ask about that, he gives a chuckle and says, "That's a fine trick, isn't it?" He doesn't seem to say anything else.
Yeah, I guess we're not going to get information for that. If only somebody had some sort of memory read spell active at the same time. Yeah. Okay. I guess.
Does any one of us have any potion of ESP or something like that? Because
Nope.
Leva doesn't have. I think she used up the potion that she had.
Braxton's got a clear audience potion, I think.
Yeah, Leva has a clairvoyance one, but that doesn't really help.
Clear audience would only be any use if we didn't gag them all, and we left them all together and let them have a chat with each other.
Let me take a quick look at what I have listed for Ockar and Lafdul. I don't see that they have anything. All right. I mean, you can always, if you're holding them, it'll take days to get to the Elven Port. You can always do more interrogation later.
Yeah.
With
just-
spells prepared for interrogation.
Yeah. Sorry, go on.
No, it's okay.
Well, I was just going to say, I don't know if we've got any more questions or whether we want to move on to the lady.
That's fine. I mean, again, like, you can always ask questions later.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing. I'm like, if you guys want more time to think about that too, you can wait on that if you want.
Well, we can't wait with the crew, but we can wait with these.
Yeah, but the crew aren't going to give you that much information anyway.
Yeah, I know.
So.
But what I mean is crew will be gone. It doesn't sound like anyone else has questions for him, so...
Alright, any questions for
Well-
Silithia?
Leva has a scroll with friends on it. I'm just looking whether that would help.
It raises your charisma.
Yeah.
That's best for when you're about to interact with people for the first time, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. Those with favorable reactions tend to be very impressed with the spellcaster, make an effort to be his friend and help him.
Yeah, but these people have already reacted to you very negatively.
Okay.
What? A little bit of friendly duels and fights. To the death.
That's a pretty good spell. Like, if you need to negotiate something with a merchant or something like that, that's a pretty good spell for that kind of thing. Or if you are about to, like, you see an approaching group on the road and it looks heavily armed kind of thing, you want to try to prevent any negative, reaction fight kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But again, you can wait and ask the prisoners questions later if you want.
Yeah. Oh, we want to... we want to ask the source, Silithia. Is it Silithia?
Mm-hmm.
We want to ask Silithia where she signed on with Red Njord and if she's got any affiliation to other groups.
She's been with Njord since before Kryn Space.
Right.
And she definitely seems interested in a wealth and power like him, so...
Uh-huh. So she doesn't look like... Well, we don't know the local spellcaster, so forget that.
She's from out of Sphere, so...
Yeah.
Like, that would be... You'd pick that up right away. She has the wrong accent and everything, for one thing.
Right. Do we know what's... we'll ask what sphere she comes from.
She just said, she was born in Wild Space. She's been around. She doesn't really have a home.
Right. Okay, well, Braxon's going to try and scope out with a few questions in with other chit-chat. What other spheres Red Njord's been to with the group, and he's going to try to see if she's been to Grey Space. That was that map, wasn't it?
Yeah.
If she mentions Grey Space at all, he'll ask more questions about it to try and see if she knows anything about anything on that chart.
So she does start to mention that, yeah, she has, and then she shuts up.
Right.
Like, you kind of realize, she realized that this was going someplace that she doesn't want to talk about.
Right. Okay. So Braxon knows. Braxon knows she's done something in Grey Space with Red Njord. Oh well, we can always ask some more questions later.
Yep.
Anyone else got questions for her?
Not really.
Okay.
At the moment.
I'm very surprised you don't want to ask people what their book collection is.
Finn, Leva, anything from either of you?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
Well,
Yeah?
Did you ask about the orc? Did we get anything from her about the orc?
That wasn't specifically mentioned. I mean, do you have any specific questions that you want to ask about him to her?
I know that Lafdul and Leva definitely want to know who he is, where he went to, what's his position in the group.
So what you'd get from her is you definitely get the impression that she didn't like him much. But he served a purpose. He had again. She'll say he had ways of getting information to Njord, and he had something to do with those giant things that Njord used, but I had little to do with that. Bloodleaf was involved in that, I believe.
Mm-hmm. Does she have any idea where he might have gone to?
She has no idea, no. She had no idea that he could even do that.
Okay.
Have you leaked that he escaped? Or did she already know he'd escaped?
Uh,
think
Put
we
it as
don't want
escaped, I'd
to-
say ran away.
we might not want to share that detail with
Yeah,
her.
that's what. Well, yeah, but from the question, it sounds like she might already be able to infer that. I'm asking this out of character.
I think the door was closed. Wait, was that door closed?
Hmm?
No, I'm trying to think. I think one of the doors was open into the.
The door to the corridor must have been open because otherwise Lafdul wouldn't have seen or heard the orc disappear.
No, he came out of his room. I'm thinking about what she could have seen because she was inside the helm room. But I don't
Oh,
remember if
yeah.
that door was closed. The door
That
into the
was
helm.
closed
That was closed.
because
Okay.
that
Then no, she.
Salen, not
Yeah, she
Salen,
didn't.
Finn went.
She didn't. Sorry. Yeah, I was thinking that it was open. She saw that happen. But no, she wouldn't have seen that happen. So how would you phrase the question about the orc going away?
Let me think about it for a bit.
I would definitely make it sound like he was abandoning them when he could have helped.
Yes.
Yeah, but like there's kind of an element of if you kind of infer that he literally ran away, uh, that's going to be very suspicious because like where would he have run to? They were already getting bottled up inside the ship.
Yeah.
Well, Lara doesn't really have a problem with letting the sorcerers know that he ran away. He left all of them behind.
We can disclose that later on also.
Yes.
She's
you
already
better-
done it. She's already done it.
No, not quite, because I was asked. Lara was asked to think about how to phrase that properly.
Yeah.
Which means she hasn't actually asked that yet. So she's quite prepared to delay that question until a later point.
And I gave you information based on a misremembering thing. So Silithia would not have given you that because she couldn't.
Well, Leva would ask the following: is there a place outside of the ship where you would or could escape to? No, not escape. That's the wrong word. Is there a safe place, something like that, a safe room or something like that?
Rendezvous point.
Yes.
And she wouldn't give any information about that. Difficult to tell whether a place like that exists or not.
Mm-hmm.
But you would have indicated that he got away in some manner without disclosing how.
No, because this particular question would have been asked in a way to, do you have a meeting room? There's a meeting room. Gosh.
Point. Yeah.
Do you have a place where you tend to meet after you, let's say, you've done a mission or something like that? Is there a place where you generally meet?
Yeah. The only thing that you pick up is this cave itself, this layer.
Okay.
All right. Any other questions of her?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
Not at this time. Later on, maybe, but not at this time.
Okay. Do you want to talk to the elf then?
Yeah,
Okay.
if the elf's woken up.
Yeah. I mean, he'd wake up at some point, so.
Okay, so I think we should have friendly-looking people to meet the elf when they wake up, and maybe not cramp them until.
Alia and Chandrasekhar probably would have been taking a look at him.
Yeah. Okay. So once they pass on that, we've come and they're rescued and etc., then they could be brought to us.
All right. So he's been when you would go to him. He's in He's
Yeah.
in pretty bad shape.
Yeah,
He's
sorry,
resting
yeah.
comfortably. They've given him some food, or like he's eating some food when you come to him.
Yeah.
And it definitely looks like it's the first good meal that he's had in a while.
First thing Braxon will say is, greetings. Do you know of any other survivors we might be able to rescue?
Might want to introduce yourself first. And get
Okay.
his introduction first.
That's true. Braxton's like a straight to the point business kind of person. But yeah, he says, my name's Braxon Miacc. I'm the captain of the company of the Broken Sword. And he'd introduce the other officers from the Broken Sword that are around him. And so you've already met, and whatever their names were from the Octave Arcane. We also have the Star Knights with us. We came here to stop Red Njord, and you're safe now. And then he says, "Do you know of anyone else that we might?"
He would introduce himself before you get to any questions.
Okay.
Thank you. I appreciate it, and this meal. They had me eating very little. I am Commander Lenelius Sarushar, Elven Imperial Navy.
What was the name?
Lenelius Sarushar. I'll write that in. He's a rank of commander. All right, so now you'd ask your question.
Yeah, could Braxon have had the time to go get our letter of introduction from the elves at Browspace?
Sure, that's fine.
Okay. Braxton will hand that over and say, we have a letter of introduction already been read by one of your colleagues in this sphere. Their mark is on the letter.
Pardon me, what sphere are we in? I know we went through the Phlogiston.
Oh, you're not from this sphere. We're in Kryn space.
He looks kind of genuinely shocked at that.
We are from Browspace. We came to hunt Red Njord. We've been speaking with the local Elven Navy, and this letter of introduction is from the Browspace Elven Navy.
Yeah, that the thing does mention where it's from.
Yeah. Well, Brax is just saying where we come from.
Yeah. He'd hand it back to you and say, Kryn space. Yes, that makes sense now.
And we came here to specifically to hunt Red Njord.
Is he dead?
He's captured.
Yeah. We're going to take him off to the local Elven Navy. They'll deal with him.
And did you recover some strange large objects?
Yes, he was using one, which...
When you mention
which-
that, his eyes just go wide, and he says, the questions make sense now.
Well, we've damaged that one. He got out of it after it was damaged, and we have the other ones. We were going to take them to the local Elven Navy. Are you suggesting that they don't belong to the local Elven Navy?
No, but they can certainly handle them. They do need to be returned as soon as you can.
Yeah. Oh, yes. We're making preparations to leave. We're in the territory of dragons at the moment, so we're safe for the time being. But we'll be heading off soon. Yeah, like I was saying, do you know of any other captives that we need to rescue before we go?
No, as far as I'm aware, I was the last one they kept alive. That Six Chill found me entertaining. He says that with deep disgust.
That's unfortunate. It would have been nice to rescue other people, but it's good that you're still with us.
So, as a reminder, he's in a bad way. He has clearly been brutalized in many different ways, and like bones have been broken. He's been heavily scarred. Bones have been broken and healed incorrectly. All told, like he can function with healing and time, and he'll be able to function. But he's never he needs regeneration and or restoration spells to get back up to where he used to be, which of course you don't really know.
Yeah.
Just as a reminder, he's been heavily scarred, definitely tortured.
Yeah. Well, Braxon will say we've got some healers, so when we get underway, we'll be able to get you some treatment, and the elves here will be able to get you some treatment. So we're still on Red Njord's ship, aren't we?
I think you would have taken him out and made him comfortable outside in the cave itself.
Okay. Because I was going to say...
Because like the cell he was in was really cramped and everything like that. So unless you put him in someone's room, which, considering what Lafdul kind of wanted to do, you probably would have wanted to get the quarters cleared out and generally prevent people from going in.
Yeah,
beyond
I
that.
was wondering whether we'd be better off moving him to our ship.
Maybe, but again, keep in mind that your ships can't come in here right now.
Yeah.
It's just getting too crowded, and
your ship
in particular is too big.
He could be on the ill ship for now, couldn't he?
He could, but you could just make him comfortable outside on the cave, get some cushions and stuff like that, and put him under him.
All right.
I mean,
where is he from?
I'll get to that in just a second. He's been cramped, like in a 5x5 cell for, you'd guess, a very long time. Like at the very least, upwards, beyond 8-10 months, kind of thing. So just being out in the cave itself, even though it's a cave and not where he might prefer to be elsewhere, like out in the forest, just being out in an open area is going to do him good mentally. So,
Okay.
So Finn, you ask where he's from?
Yes.
He says, I serve the Navy in gray space. I was part of a contingent on a. He looks around and basically right now you've just got Chandrasekhar, Alia, and your party members, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. He says, I cannot speak in detail about it, but it was, shall we say, a storage facility. Secretive.
Yes. Okay. Well, we'll be getting you to our ship, and we're going to take. We're going to be going off to the elves. We can discuss on the way when you start to heal whether you would prefer us to leave these items with the elves here, or if you want them taken back to your storage area. We might be able to arrange that.
No. Get them to the elves. The nearest elven navy base will do.
Okay.
He's very adamant about that. Just like
Yeah.
Get it to the elves as quickly as you're capable of doing, kind of thing.
Yep. We should be heading off sometime tomorrow.
Are you planning on returning to Grey Space?
Yes, but I will. You do not need to deliver me there, if that's what your intention is.
How big is that chart that we found?
Standard size, which is a
Is
bit
it
larger than a
alright?
poster. Charts are usually about
Right.
poster size, kind of thing.
Okay. So Braxon could hold it up, or you could just tell him for now. We found a chart in Red Njord's possession of Grey Space with some markings on. When you're feeling a bit better, and when we're not on this celestial body anymore, perhaps we can get you to have a look at that chart and see if you recognise any of the features.
Can you bring it to me now?
Yes, of course. Braxon will go get it while the others are talking to him.
Okay. Does anyone have any questions that they want to ask while Braxon is away, or do you just want to make kind of small talk until Braxon gets back?
I think I will make small talk at the moment.
A wolf in.
Leva?
Same.
Okay. All right.
No big
So just kind of like checking to see how he's doing, letting him know what, telling him about yourselves, that kind of thing. Just trying to make him comfortable and get to know you a little bit better. Braxton, you return with the chart.
Yeah.
All right. And you unroll
Brax.
it and show it to him.
Yeah, Braxton points out the features on there. So we've not managed to. We've asked some careful questions of the captives to try to get information without revealing that we have this chart, and we haven't got any specific information out of them about Grey Space.
Seeing what it he asks for you to bring it closer, and he looks at it and
Yeah.
he lets out a hiss and says, they did somehow they didn't just stumble upon our location, they knew it. Burn this chart, please. And if you can find out how they learned of the location,
Perhaps
that would
we
be
can use.
very, very helpful. Someone
Perhaps
has leaked the information or something.
Braxton rolls up the chart and says, perhaps, rather than simply destroy this chart now, perhaps we can use some sort of divination magic, or perhaps the elves can use some sort of divination magic to find out how this chart was created.
I mean, it's a chart someone has marked on. Like, it's a chart of gray space that has been marked on. It's
Yeah,
not.
but Maybe Lafdul could use thought capture or something like that.
He's pretty insistent that you burn it ASAP.
Okay.
I cannot afford that information falling into anyone else's hands. I mean, it's up to you whether you want to acquiesce to his request.
I think Braxon will hang on to the chart for a little bit to see if anyone thinks they can use any spells on it before we destroy it. He's happy to destroy it, but all the people here, the bad people, already know where the base is.
Well, I mean, again, like you have navigational skill. You know that just because you know that something is somewhere doesn't mean that you can get there without a chart.
Yeah.
So, and this is pointing, like, it's a location in an asteroid belt that you've heard of, but you don't really know. And Finn can explain to you that it's a more of an asteroid shell, spherical shell of asteroids.
Yeah.
If someone were to say, yeah, it's in that place, that's like, thanks, needle in a haystack the size of a planet.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. So that chart would get them there.
Yeah. No, I'm just thinking that Braxon's wondering if Lafdul or one of the other spellcasters can find out anything about the people that wrote this.
All right. So
before
all right. If first of all, Finn, Solas, and Leva, do you have any spells not memorized, but spells that you might think might be useful?
I take it it's too late for tracking, isn't it?
Probably. I don't remember offhand what the spell does.
Just a second. I have it open in front of me. It detects a psychic impression left by creatures moving through an area. The druid takes an object closely related to the creature being tracked.
I don't think that's going to have
And
any. I don't think that's going to work on this thing.
Yeah.
That's more of a track them through, across ground kind of thing.
All right. Shall we say that we carry on being
right? So the reason why I'm asking is because since Lafdul isn't here, if he has something, I can retcon it.
Yeah.
That you don't, or what I want to do is, if no one has anything that they think is going to be effective, and they all said that right now, would you burn it right now? That's my question.
Yeah. Okay.
Is that a yes?
Leva would disagree with Braxon if he wants to burn it.
Well, hold on. If we can get to that, but
okay.
Braxon, would you be inclined if all of the spellcasters say, no, I don't think I have any spells that can be useful here? Would you be inclined to follow him? His request. Okay.
Yeah, because it's something that's going to help the elves. What I'm thinking though is, are there things we can check, like the handwriting? Can we work out if this was created by one of Red Njord's people or whether someone else passed this information to him? Once we destroy this documentation,
all right,
that
get to that. We can get to that later. Leva, Finn, and Solas. Do any of you have any spells that you think you might help? Not memorize, but things that you might memorize at a later date.
I might have some clerical spells. I can't remember every single one that I have access to.
Oh,
there's nothing that Finn can think of.
Okay,
but most of them are going to be the same that Lafdul has.
All right, Leva.
Access to.
No, can't think of anything right now. Looking through the scrolls, but
okay. So, do any of you have any other reasons? Now, keep in mind, this guy's he's being very insistent that it should be destroyed ASAP.
What if we?
Uh,
What if?
Solas has the general discomfort on the idea of destroying knowledge and charts or maps, but he understands that it's something that is strategically important to be kept secret, so he's reluctantly accepting the destruction of the chart.
And Leva, you had
Yeah.
an objection?
Yes, for one thing, since the chart has come out already, it's probably not secret anymore. And destroying this copy here may not change anything in the whole picture.
Well, it's,
Just because he wants this chart destroyed doesn't mean that there are no copies around that are still there.
that's true. Well, that's why I was wondering if we could use this chart to find other people. What about if we were to fold the chart up and try and fit it in that magical device that tracks things?
Yeah, something like that. We could try that. Would that work?
You'd have to try it.
Well, that's what I'm meaning by once we destroy it, we lose that option.
Yes. We lose all options.
So
On the other
if we,
hand,
yeah,
no, but I mean, he wants us to destroy this chart, but does he know that they may have taken a copy and there may be other copies around?
Would
We
you
haven't
would
had
you
that,
present
so-
that argument to him?
Yes.
He would say, no, I have no way of knowing if there are copies, but even if there are, this one could fall into others' hands, and if it is destroyed, it cannot. Others may still do so, but this one can never do that. It can never fall into anyone else's hands and lead them there. I'd rather have one other chart out there rather than two charts floating around.
Braxon says that sounds sensible. We have in the past used items to track down people. And if we were to keep this temporarily, we might be able to use spells ourselves or get the Elven Navy people that we go to use spells to find out who made this chart. That might be of strategic importance. So if there are people out there that made this chart and we can get that information to the elves, that information may be more important than destroying the chart. Do you not think?
You said that Njord himself was captured. If we destroy
Yes.
the chart, we can still get more information about the chart from him. The
Possibly.
elves have many spellcasters with considerable power. They can interrogate him.
That's true.
If you
Just-
need some time to cast some spells on it, I suppose I could acquiesce for, say, a day.
Yes.
But I need you to keep this chart somewhere absolutely safe, or as safe as you can possibly make it, so that no one else can get their hands on it.
Yeah, I'll get this put in our treasure room.
Thank you.
Let's have Lafdul take care of it.
One
Yeah.
question. To
Well,
Mold.
first of all, Leva,
Yeah.
you had some more to add to that.
Hmm?
It sounded like you weren't quite done with suggesting Lafdul take care of it.
Oh, no, I was, because he would normally have quite a few things that he wants to have locked away. And I think that a chart like this would fit nicely with those things.
Well, you
But
do have
he's not here, so he can't talk.
you do have the safe on your ship though,
Yes, okay.
and I think Lanelius would rather it be under lock and guard rather than in someone's personal possession.
Yeah. I
That's
think
fine.
what we'll do is when we do destroy it, we'll destroy it in his presence.
Okay.
Which will put him at ease.
All right, so you'll get that taken to your ship and put away. It is about time for us to take our break. To give you some time to think of more questions to ask. But first, Solas, you had a quick question for me?
Yeah, it was a clarification. Was it the orc that Red Njord and Otter said that helped with those insect things?
Yes.
There was something about that. Yeah.
So we could mention this to the elf.
Yeah, you can do that, but we'll do that after the break.
Yeah.
If you have some questions, if you want to try to get more information from him, it'll give you guys some time to think about it a little bit more as well, what you want to talk to him about. All right. So we'll be back in about 10 minutes, and good time to step away, stretch, get something to drink, and we'll see you all shortly.